Stephen, do you disagree with me? I don't think that this was so bad in a round of interviews for her, particularly on 60 Minutes.
The problem with this strategy is the more that they hide her away, it offers her fewer opportunities to offer solutions to problems that she's been in office for 3 years. And so this is the problem with Biden, and they hid Biden away, and then he goes and kind of bombs out on the debate. And so the fewer media appearances she does, it doesn't offer a window into her. And she's going around doing friendly New York media, Howard Stern, Stephen Colbert.
Let's forget about those.
I don't know who she's trying to reach with those. I guess New York audiences, not independent voters, certainly. She's speaking to her own base. And so maybe it works. I don't know. I'm not an election prognosticator, but these constant non-answers that she's offering up, it can be a real problem with people who just don't see a person here. They see a performance.
And John, that's what I want to ask you about, right? Because throughout the day in right-leaning media, I mean, all day on Fox News, Kamala's disastrous media blitz, et cetera. What did you make of they were non-answers on 60 Minutes.
Well, some were non-answers, but first of all, she was on 60 Minutes. Where was Donald Trump? He had agreed to go on, and he backed out. So which would you rather do? Be on there, the largest television news show, every year, every week, every year for 50 years. Would you rather be on there, prime time, 4 weeks before the election, or not be on there? So she was on there. She gets credit for it, and more people will like her. When they see her, they like her. That's why she's doing these things after a month of being assaulted for not doing any interviews. Now she's doing them. And 60 Minutes is not a left-wing show. It's a huge news show. And then she did Howard Stern, aiming at the male voters. That's hostile territory for her. And she did apparently well on there. Look, we can't judge yet whether this is working, because it's just this week she's doing these things.
Well, I mean, look, let's be clear on the Howard Stern stuff. I mean, Howard Stern was friendly territory. I mean, I think that Bill Whitaker did a really good job in his interview. He followed up. But Howard Stern, let me give you an example. This is number 3 here. This is the sort of question that she was asked on Howard Stern.
If he wins, God forbid, would you feel safe in this country? Would you stay in this country?
Howard, I'm doing everything I can to make sure he does not win.
Well, what if he does? How can you be safe? He's saying, oh, I'm just going to do whatever the hell I want. This time I know what I need to do.
That's not hostile territory, John, is it?
No. But the audience is a heavily Trumper audience. Howard Stern's listening audience is it is, and it's male.
No, it was. But Howard Stern is a admitted liberal donor, and he's admitted liberal voting for Kamala Harris. I mean, Trump supporters are just going to turn that off now. This isn't who Howard Stern was 5 years ago.
Stephen, Trump used to go on Howard Stern. Trump went on 60 Minutes in 2016 and then walked out in 2020. He doesn't go on any of these shows anymore. He does Fox.
Trump's notorious for not doing media.
He does Newsmax. I don't know why you're criticizing her for going on shows when your guy won't.
Well, here's the question. I don't think there's any criticism of either of them for hang on for a sec. I don't think there's any criticism of either of them for going on shows. The question is, how are they doing when they're on the shows? And I guess, Stephen, that's the question, right? Because, look, I'm with you.
Yeah.
The View, this is all safe territory except for the 60 Minutes interview, which I think all the conservatives I'm talking to are saying good for Whitaker asking the questions that he asked. And I'll admit, a lot of them are surprised that the questions were as tough as they were. But with that said, they were tough. And I think, in the end, she survived it. I guess that's my point, is that tough questions were asked of her on 60 Minutes, and it seems to me she survived it. It seems to me that the right-wing media here is trying to paint this narrative of another word salad, another disaster for Kamala Harris, that when you listen to it, it wasn't. Do you disagree with that?
A bit. I mean, when Bill Whitaker asked why she flip-flopped on so many issues, her answer was, I'm the vice president of the United States and I travel the country. That doesn't answer why she switched on Medicare for all and she switched on border security. And then she also said, the answer to the border, by the way, is just enforce the law. It's not give us more money and, which also had a pathway for 8 million illegal aliens that have come into this country. And so I agree that Whitaker did a great job. And to John's point about Trump not going on 60 Minutes, the less talking Donald Trump does and allows Kamala Harris to do more talking, the better it is for him.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.